soon, so please.
0 at 6, clear to land, runway 19 or left. And thank you for bringing our warriors home safely.
I've been through a lot in my 8 years of service. I don't really like to get into too much about war. We come home and we try to leave it behind. Unfortunately, a lot of times it's hard.
You can see it's a healing process for them. And not only is it helping them heal and they're restoring a vintage vehicle, but it's confirmation to them that the community cares.
I got contacted to see if I wanted to work on the project of restoring the '68 Cougar. It's been a really good experience. Before I started this, I was kind of like, just, I'd go to my appointments, come back, and I didn't want to associate with nobody. I wanted to be on my own. I didn't want to talk to nobody. I didn't want to make no friends. And the cars got me to come out here, put me back into public, and slowly working on making friends and, kind of going back to how I used to be, I guess.
And when we started the project, we immediately identified that the funds were going to go to Warrior Transition Battalion and the Wounded Warrior. We were going to immediately auction it off to the highest bidder. The soldiers, very prideful of their work, said, April, we don't want you just to sell it.
As you can see, the car's not fully there yet, and just kind of some numbers that we didn't hit or whatnot. We came up with having the car go on tour for a year, kind of letting everybody see that, it was a good therapy sessions for the Wounded Warriors here, and this is what we came up with.
Mamaños! Yes, we've had individual state champions, but we've never won the state meet. We've been third twice. 56, 57. We're leaving to the fastest high school state meet in Texas, the 5A UIL Interscholastic Swimming Championships. 04 high, 5. Diving is scored with swimming. If you're in a sport with diving and swimming, basically we started the regional meet out without a diving team, 68 points behind everybody. 212, 13.
It was really challenging though. You just jump into swimming and then you have to race against all these swimmers who've been at this sport since they were 3, and they're just zooming across the pool, and you're just hoping that you won't get overlapped in the beginning. There's a lot of pressure. You always hear about the reputation, the records, the number of swimmers that have gone on to college under Steve, because he's an amazing coach.
I feel good.
And the whole time you feel pressured every meet, but that pressure just makes you better, make sure your name's remembered as part of the Eastwood legacy.
Wanted me to win state because I have a really good chance at getting a first place medal. It's been a long time since someone's won state. I'm gonna keep swimming in college and hopefully get an Olympic trial cut.
Hey, good job, Brian. 56, 57. If you're in a sport with diving and swimming, the combined scores, we would definitely have a lot better chance than we are right now.
In the 1800s, there was a little town by the name of Los Amoles. In the 1800s, like 1882, there was a big flood that almost razed the town. So the people moved here to the present town of La Union.
Not good, ladies and gentlemen. Not good at all.
Well, that day was Thursday 2 weeks ago, and I was home and I turned around. I was expecting water from the roof, and all of a sudden I see on the ground the water start coming through the bottom of the house.
I think that what the county has done with the roads has been okay, but there's still a lot of things that need to be put back in place. As citizens, we really have to be on top of the officials that govern our little communities, like the earthen dams, that they really be maintained.
To make another wall, it will be probably like 3,000, 4,000 just to make a second wall, because this one is going to go down eventually.
We feel like we're close enough to El Paso and far away from El Paso. If you drive on Highway 28, you'll see tractors all the time, and you'll see cotton fields and cornfields and and chili fields, and you see our maize. It's a beautiful little green valley in the middle of the desert. It's a beautiful place.
America's home, your United States Air Force Demonstration Squadron, known to all the world as the Thunderbird.
I did one tour in Iraq, about 200 hours, a little over 200 hours of combat flying, but definitely, you know, she's the one who paved the way for me to do that, so she's definitely my hero, and it humbles me to think that she would say something like that about me.
All we ever ask for is that our overlooked history would someday no longer be a missing chapter in the history of World War II, in the history of the Air Force, in the history of aviation, and most especially the history of America.
To have a float in the Rose Parade this coming year, to me it's a complicated story. All these women, each individual has their own story. My mother with 5 of her classmates were one story because they all served from beginning to end.
I'm really flabbergasted. I mean, I didn't think it would be such a great big deal. And we appreciate all the attention. It's way more than I expected, really.
Oh, I don't think of us as heroes. We were enjoying we loved what we were doing, but it's very flattering, very flattering.
She became a teacher there at several of the schools. Bowie was the main high school she worked at. Alamo was another one of her schools. That was probably her biggest contribution to El Paso.
Over 65 years ago, we each served our country without any expectations of recognition or glory. And we did it without compromising the values that we were taught as we grew up: honor, integrity, patriotism, service.
And it's all because of her sacrifice and her contributions and her bravery to go and do what she did that made it possible for me to fly F-16s and go into combat, and really not as a female pilot, but more just as a pilot.
Ready now.
There are 2 things we're celebrating this weekend. What are they?
This weekend we're celebrating Father's Day. And the second one, what are we celebrating the second one?
No clue.
2 things we're going to celebrate this weekend. I know they have the festival going on downtown.
Father's Day. Father's Day, you got one right. What's the other one?
Juneteenth. Of course, Father's Day.
Okay. And what's the second one?
I don't know, I guess everybody's looking at the World Cup.
Open the box.
Okay.
That's our flag, though.
That's a flag, yeah.
That's our United States flag.
Oh my God. Okay. Yes.
What did you see in there?
It's a flag.
Oh.
A flag day?
Wow. The first, it's the anniversary of the day the flag was made or something, right?
If my father, was still, here today, I would give him one.
Have freedom. A lot of countries don't have that, and they're jealous of it.
It's freedom that he gave me when I was born. So I give it back to him.
I think it would be nice if more people had a flag in front of their home.
23 years old and could conquer the world.
My first assignment was Buchenwald concentration camp. We smelled the terrible odor of burning flesh and saw billowing black smoke for miles away. That's the crematorium at Flossenburg concentration camp. And they ran them 24 hours a day. Our first order of business was stopping the crematorium, bringing in 2.5-ton trucks full of clothing, medical supplies, and doctors and their staffs. We were trying to save hundreds of dying inmates. They were still dying by the hundreds. As we got in there, there were stacks of people that were dead, just like cords of wood, waiting to go. They had 11 crematoriums
going full blast at Buchenwald. And while I was there, we saw human slippers made of human skin. They had lampshades made of human skin. They had jars of glass jars of fat. They call it pure Jewish fat that they used to cook with.
How do you feel that you're part of that also, about a part of that history?
Because I was there. I was in Auschwitz because I was in Poland. But like I say, I was there and I saw it, and nobody could tell me that it's figmentation or a bunch of baloney.